What's going on? GeoFuck Site Perspectives. So in this video, I want to discuss parasocial relationships. Parasocial relationships basically is a situation where you don't know these people in real life, IRL, okay? You met them off of social media, off of the internet. This might be on YouTube, this might be on Facebook, this might be on Twitter, this might be on Instagram. Whatever social media app, website you're using. You don't know these people in real life. So you're basing everything that you know about them off of whatever they're posting on social media, on that social media app, on that person's profile, okay? So all of the assumptions that we're making are solely based off of whatever they tell us, or they share with us, or they post. With that being said, we don't really know anything about these people because just like in real life, people lie. And I feel like with parasocial relationships on social media, people are even more incentivized to lie or tell half-truths because how you going to fact check the person? You don't know them. So people can literally say anything. And then also, not only do you got to worry about people potentially lying, but you also have to worry about that you don't want to become overly invested in someone that you don't know anything about. Like, you're only gonna know so much about the person because it's online. It's not, in my opinion, it's not a real relationship, okay? It's a parasocial relationship. Like, for example, you have a lot of people who follow different celebrities who, are basically like stans, the super fan, to the point where they're like idol worshiping celebrities. So for example, you have the Nicki Minaj fans who call themselves the Barbs, who will literally go toe to toe, like verbal altercations, doxing people, sharing people's personal information, all to defend Nicki Minaj. Meanwhile, Nicki Minaj doesn't know you from a can of paint, doesn't even know you exist. Okay, and it's the same thing with people who are a part of the Beehive, for Beyonce, or people literally are like this. And it's, again, you don't know these people, and you got people who are literally ruining their entire lives in the real world because they're acting like this over parasocial relationships online. Okay, so I just want to make sure people understand, you don't know me. I don't know you. Again, I only know so much of whatever you're sharing, posting, or telling me. And you only know so much about me based off of what I'm telling you, sharing, and posting. Meanwhile, and then another thing is, people will make a post or a video or a tweet or status, whatever, and then people will then turn around and run with whatever they see that person say, post, tweet, status, video, and think that this is everything going on. And then now you're making up all of these assumptions. Meanwhile, you don't know jack shit about that person, right? You don't know my history. You don't know what type of work I've done, what experiences I have, the people I know, what I still support and do. You don't have any of that information, yet you're running off at the mouth and coming up with assumptions that end up making an ass out of you. And that's what I mean by, we got to stop overly investing in these fake ass relationships, in my opinion. A lot of us are becoming way too overly invested in people that we don't know. And again, social media is not the real world. Now, I will say this, there are definitely remnants of the real world on social media, but it's not 100% the real world. And a lot of us, including myself, I got to check myself, we become so overly invested in stuff on social media to the point that we end up causing our own selves mental agony, and unnecessary stressors. Like, for example, on Twitter, you can easily doomsday scroll, because again, for example, me being black, being gay, being queer, being intersex, being trans, etc. It's easy to doom scroll and see about all of these trans legislations, anti-LGBTQ plus legislations, you know, just you can doom scroll to the point where you are now living in a constant state of doom and gloom and dread and depression. And this isn't to say that in the real world we don't face hate, animosity, bigotry. We don't face obstacles. We don't face discrimination. I'm not saying that this is not happening in the real world, but to constantly doom scroll over it, it's not good for your mental health. I'm from my lived experiences and personal opinion, it's not good for your mental health. You can't be sitting up constantly doom scrolling. Sometimes you need to take a break from social media. Like, it's one of the reasons why, like, I got back on Facebook 3 weeks ago because, you know, I'm heavily involved in politics and elections. But again, somebody literally made a comment mad at me because of my lived experiences and trying to tell me about what you don't know shit about me. That's my whole point. And I don't owe you anything. I don't have to tell you anything about me. That's a whole nother thing. Like, y'all feel entitled to other people's lives. You know what I mean? And it's just insane to me at this point. But that's just it. You don't know anything about me. I don't know anything about you. And my entire life is not wrapped around social media. So I don't care either. You know what I mean? Like, it kind of gets to that point where it's like, yeah, just log off. And some of us need to log off and get real lives, because a lot of us are overly invested in what's going on social media to the point that it's literally altering your mindset and your mental health. And when it gets to that point, you need to take a break, which is another reason why, like I said, I've been on Facebook now for 3 weeks. As soon as the election cycle is over, I'll be off, and I probably won't be back on for a month, 2 months, 3 months, who knows? Because I take these hiatus because, again, I don't use it every day. I don't need to use it every day. And I'm also going to start doing that with other social media apps that I use, like Twitter, YouTube. Like, I didn't post for 2 weeks and then made a post and then made some posts and then deleted them and then didn't get back on for another week. So I'm going to do that with Twitter starting now. And I'm also going to be doing that with Instagram. I kind of already am on Instagram like that, where, like, I haven't made a post in a month. Because, again, it's just one of those moments where it's like you just need to take those breaks. I really do think unplugging from social media is a positive. I don't think we need to be on here 24/7, 365. And there's nothing wrong with taking brief hiatuses and having some downtime without it. And that's my 2 cents on parasocial relationships. Information is in the description box below, and I'm out. Go Blue.